Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next installment of our Autodesk Inventor Professional Exploration Series. For this episode, we're going to be going into drawings. And so the first drawing that you're going to see here is something that I made in SolidWorks, which is a different program. But don't worry, we will be going into Autodesk today. This is just an example I wanted to show of what a drawing file is used for and what it might look like. So as you can see, we have the staging cone for the MIT rocket team's rocket. This is not the main cone that goes on the front of the rocket, rather for the cone that goes in between the staging. That way, it is a bit easier to detach the first and second stage in creating a multi-stage rocket. And so this is a very important piece that we need to manufacture. And so it is crucial that we make sure that all the dimensions are correct and communicated well. And that's essentially what the purpose of a drawing is. It is to create a sort of figure that I can give to someone, assuming they have all the necessary tools to manufacture this, and so that they can give me back this exact piece with a certain degree of tolerance, because of course engineering is all about small tolerances. There's no way you're going to get everything exactly right, and so we do our best. So this is just a small example of what we're going to be doing going forward, and so I'm going to go and stop sharing here and jump over into Autodesk Inventor. So let's go jump over Autodesk Inventor and go to drawing. All right, so we're going to start off with a very odd sort of format, an ANSI large. I personally don't really like this sheet format. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to one of the other sheet formats so you can change this more or less freely. So I can go click here. Okay, there we are. And now we've jumped over to ANSI A. I don't really like ANSI A either. I'm going to jump over to C size to be power coded. First, what about this? Draw sharp edges as needed. Sure, let's go with this. And as you can see, there are multiple other sheets. You can go ahead and delete those. I'm just going to leave them here. We're going to be working on sheet 4 for the purpose of this episode. And I'm going to be going here. I don't like the ANSI large. I like ANSI A. So I'm going to go to the title blocks and click ANSI A. And now we have ANSI A here. ANSI A is a bit more standardized. All right. So we have this nice setup here. And so what I'm going to be doing is creating, first and foremost, a sketch view. So let's go over to create a base view. Excuse me. All right. First, we need to actually select the file. What we're going to be using today is just the wheel. So wheel here. And that's going to display our wheel with this nice 8-point view. And so what we can do here is just sort of scale it up or down. I personally prefer to use this scale command because it's a bit easier to manage. I think 1-to-1 is perfectly fine for the purpose of our drawing. Oops. There we are. We can also, of course, move it around. I'm going to do it this way where I put my piece right here. I might even make it a bit bigger. I can go ahead and make it maybe 3-to-2. Let's say 2-to-1. No, that's a bit too big. Let's say 3-to-2. I think this is still a bit too big. Let's do 4-to-3. There we are. That's a little bit better. All right. So we just need something that sort of fills up our space. And you'll see why this is important later. All right. So let's go back to editing the wheel. There we are. And so there are lots of different sorts of views that you can have. You can have a shaded view, which really I don't recommend doing, and unless you're doing an isometric view, which we'll do in a second, or a hidden line remove. This is just going to hide any, if let's say we had a bushing or some sort of form that was in the back, it wouldn't show the wireframe. We don't really like that, so we're going to switch it over here to show hidden lines. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter all that much because we don't have that many hidden lines on this wheel, except for this small extrusion right here. All right, so that's all good. I apologize for the sound of the dog. And so what we can also do now is decide to create new views. And so now what we're going to do is go to create projected views. All right, now I can go over here, and as you can see, it's already starting to create these odd views from the side. So this is me viewing my wheel from the actual side instead of straight on. So I'm going to create a projected view here. There we are. Create. Awesome. It creates that nice wireframe view. And I could also create another projected view. So I could go over here, go to projected, and then go here. But the thing is that there are no dimensions that are communicated by creating this third side of it. There's no new information I can get from it because a wheel, this is just this view of this top one, but turned. And so all I'm going to do is create this isometric view over here. There we are. No, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and create that nice, like I said, that isometric view. There we are. Great. Okay. I just need to right click, hit create. And there we are. Now we have all of these amazing views. And now look at this one. This one's actually a bit of an interesting one because I need to edit this view simply because it's oriented wrong. So I want to be able to see as much detail as possible here, but I can't see this bushing. I can't see there's a part that comes out right here that I can see here, but not in this drawing over here. So what I'm going to do is just turn it. And there we are. Now I can see this wheel here. The shading is a bit odd, but nonetheless, it still looks pretty nice. So there we are. I'm just going to click OK. And now we have a bunch of different information about this wheel. I might actually opt to also go ahead and make this bigger. Let's make this 3 to 2. Oh, there we are. And so this is taking up a bit more space now. I might also opt to put this information, these notes, put them down here, and then I can write my manufacturing process here. It's also important to be able to highlight how the manufacturing process would work. All right, so now what we're going to do is start adding dimensions. And you can do a lot of different things. One of the things that you can do is import dimensions from a figure. And we're not going to. So as you can see, go down here. I could create lots of different dimensions here. Baseline, set, ordinate, and then chain set. We're not really going to be talking about very many of them here. The only thing we're going to be talking about are baselines. So I could click retrieve here and import dimensions from this. And as you can see, all of these dimensions will pop up. And so I could go ahead and do that here. That's a good option. And then I would just have to rearrange these. But another good option that I can use is the baseline. And so the baseline is essentially going to tell us if I were to manufacture this from a block, then it would be very important for me to start with these baseline dimensions. So I'm going to select a few faces. So I can select that face. I'll select, try to zoom in and select this face, and then this face. Right click, hit continue. And as you can see, I now end up with all of these nice dimensions here. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely great. So these are all very important to point out, as well as this dimension right here. This face. Okay, not sure what that was about. And there we are. Oh, as you can see, these baseline dimensions disappeared, which is a bit odd. But not to worry, I think they would actually work a bit better over here. Let's go from here to here. All right. So let's go ahead and rearrange the dimensions that are down here already. We have this nice axis right here. Another one here. I want to make sure that these are a bit large so that you can actually read them. As you can see, a lot of these dimensions are very good to see. But I believe that we are out of time. So I'm going to continue elaborating on how to use drawing files in the next episode. And we're also going to be talking about how you can use projected views and presentation views in the next episode as well. All right. Thank you so much to everyone, and we will see you next time.